Good afternoon and welcome to the Library Corporation's Webinar Wednesday series. My name is Jamison Reynolds. I'm the Director of Marketing Strategy here at TLC, and thanks for joining us today on what is at least where HQ is for TLC. Kind of a rainy, drab day, but hopefully it's a little nicer where you are. Today's session is going to be Carl Connect staff on the go. Today's session is going to be led by Joe Reimers, our sales engineer for our Carl side of the house. As you can see, our title for this session is Demo: Carl.Connect Staff on the Go. The reason why we have demo is we are somewhat alternating with some of our topics between what has been more general, high level, maybe discussion, conversations that we've had with our webinars as opposed to what will be a software demonstration. I do want to make clear that today's webinar is a software demonstration for our Carl Connect platform. Some of you may be familiar with library.solution or library.solution for schools. That is the other library management software that we do have to offer, but today's session is solely dedicated to Carl. So what we will do is we do tend to try to keep these to about a half hour. If we run a little late, that sometimes happens. The content is just so good you don't want to cut it off. But what we will do is we will go through, and at the end of this, we do have a couple of questions for you all, as well as you all have the opportunity to ask questions to Joe. I will be muted throughout the entire session, and when we get to the end, I'll kind of moderate what questions may come in for Joe to answer. So I will go ahead and mute my mic, and on that note, Joe, please take it away.
Thank you, Jamison. I'm really pleased to be here and excited to show you a bit about Carl Connect staff on the go. Before I show you the actual software, I just want to let you know I will be demoing literally on the go using my iPad and an attached Bluetooth barcode scanner. So we're actually going to be doing this for real, and you'll see what it looks like when you are on the go. And with that, let's take a look at Carl Connect staff. So I'm logged in. You see my iPad. It is the gold iPad, just showing in real time. There you can see all of my fun pieces. I'm logging back in. One cool thing just about tablets and iPads in general is it's real easy to simulate that app feel simply by going to Carl Connect. Then you have the little share button at the top that I just said, and it allows you to add to home screen. And when you do that, then when you look at the home screen, there's a button that says login, and that is my Carl Connect staff, and it's always right there just for when I need it. I'm going to close that window because I'm already logged in. How much of what we do is really on the go as opposed to tethered to our desks? A lot of circulation and management tasks we do at our desks, but we really need to be away from our desks for a lot of what we do. Some of that is going to be community outreach, so going to farmers markets or registration drives, bookmobiles, book bikes, what have you. Some of it is roving customer service, which is an increasingly popular feature that many libraries are offering, especially with ready to phoning in or requesting orders and just doing drop off pickup book lending. And then the stacks management, pull list. How much paper do we use? Printing off pull lists and doing other in-house stacks type management. And that's really what being on the go is about, is addressing all of these needs in all of these ways. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Carl Connect staff, this is our web-based staff client. We have circulation and item management capabilities in here now, and we're constantly adding more. And we're going to give a brief highlight of things that Carl Connect staff does in general, but I really want to focus on the on-the-go pieces. You'll notice we have the ability to register new patrons right away directly from within this. I'm logged into Carl Connect staff's circulation user services. Library services would be traditional circulation options. User services is user management. So a registration, you would go to a new user and look up on date. When you get to the full registration screen, this is just a quick shortcut we offer. If you're able to scan the back of a driver's license, a simple scan will fill out this whole form for you, so you can do that quickly and easily. But we're not going to do that here. I'm going to go back to the previous page. Navigate away. And instead, I'm going to show you, I'm going to look up a pre-registered user who registered as a self-registered patron. And I'm going to use Charles Bingley. You're going to notice a little bit of a theme here as I go. So again, on the go, either I just registered him or he comes up, and we can handle all of this registration and all of this validation here. In this case, because I did an online registration, I need to verify the user card type, and I'm going to switch that to adult. And directly from within the iPad, we have a lot of power. By the way, I should mention, I say iPad. This could also be any other tablet or mobile device. You could use a Chromebook. I've even done this from my cell phone. It's very small, but it does actually work on a cell phone. So really, any web-enabled mobile device will work. And you can do all of this from here. Adding a photo, the device is, or the feature is device aware. So I'm going to embarrass myself and upload a picture with taking a photo. And here we've got, let me switch it to selfie mode. Come on, selfie mode. There we go. Hello, everyone. Take a picture. And that is a horrible photo, but I'm going to use it anyway. And it should upload. Nope, it didn't take it. Oh, there we go. So it has uploaded my horrible offer live picture, but it's now part of that. Additionally, user signature, I can just do that with the signature pad on the iPad or with an attached signature pad, and it attaches right to the patron record. So you don't need fancy equipment. You just need a touch-capable, web-capable mobile device, and there you have it updated. Easy as can be. Now, switching back to other services, we're going to look at library services. And we have, again, check in, check out, and manage. Again, on the go. And this time I'm going to use my handy dandy barcode scanner. And I'm going to log in as Mary Bennett. And circulation is going to be very simple. Again, just like we always do. I have the option to override a due date and get all of the user summary information right at a glance. And that's all there is to it. When I'm finished, again, on the go, how would you like your receipt? Typically, a user will have selected options for how they want to receive that, but we can do that entirely electronically via email or text. I'm going to go ahead and use email and send that out, and we are all done. And this things reset. Returning is equally simple, but we have a couple of new features that I want to talk about. So you'll notice at the beginning in the scanning in stage, we have the ability to override the date. So if you're working with a bookmobile that runs a regular route and you had to skip a day or skip a week, you can backdate you can override the check-in date to deal with accrued fines and other issues that may have arisen. Or if you're emptying a book drop from the night before, you can override the date to deal with that. But the cool new feature we have is damaged item functionality, and I want to show a little bit of that. So I'm going to start by returning a few materials. Mary's checked out several materials. And my barcode scanner is misbehaving just a little bit. There we go. Let's see here. Okay. And then I come across one that I realize is damaged. So okay, so now we've noticed that there is a damaged item. What happens with the damaged item when that gets scanned in is that the system first says, does it have any holds on it? If it's got any holds on it, it's not going to trigger any possible holds, which it normally would when you check it back in. It's going to flag it as a damaged item, which is going to suppress it from pack view, and it's going to add it to the damaged items list. And from there, you can do other processing as needed. And we're going to take a look at that in just a minute. Additionally, with all of this, if the user is there, we can go ahead and print a receipt for her, or we can clear the list when we're done. This is just like in the Carl Connect staff client, but it's on the web as you go, and you can make any adjustments as needed while you're doing outreach programs or registration programs, registration drives, what have you. Next piece to look at is the management piece. And this is going from on the outside of things to inside, or outside the library to inside the library. So there are three components in the manage portion, and this is where you have what we have: the fill lists, the wander list, and your damaged items. All of these lists are sortable and filterable. So you can look at, in this case, all the requests. We can look at the hold type. We can filter on the type of hold. We can filter on the location for the hold, and we can filter on specific media. And the great part about this is you can have several people with these devices going through to various locations and dealing with specific holds and specific call number ranges. Sorting is very simple. Just tap on the column and it will rearrange on the fly. You can also sort on title or on media if you want to switch book on CD and adult hardbacks. We have a lot of adult hardbacks here. When we find what we're looking for, or when we're searching for a specific material, so I'm going to go with the Illustrated Brief History of Time, highlighting that brings up a list of options for us. We have not found, found, check in, fill with, and item detail. Now, the difference between found and check in is that found says, I found it, but I need some time to get it to the hold shelf. Check in says, okay, it's on the hold shelf now, and that will trigger the alert for the patron to come get it. Fill with is, I don't have the exact same barcode, but I have the exact same material, so I can fill it with a different barcode. And then, of course, we have the item detail, which you can easily look up if you want to verify a few things. So all of that is there. When something is not found, it gets added to the wander list. And the wander list changes the status to not on shelf. It gives the status dates, and then you can find out, you can go and look for them and see what's going on and keep track of them. And from here, you can make the decision whether to withdraw it or check it in, should you find it or not find it, or you can leave it there and continue to look. But this is a good place to manage your missing items that when they're missing from the pull list. Finally, the last component of this pull list functionality is damaged items. And we just added truly madly guilty to the damaged items list. And from here, again, we can add a note, we can withdraw, we can delete, or if we don't catch it at the point of check-in, we can scan another one and we can say, we're going to add where the crawdads sing. And now we've just flagged this as damaged and add that to the damaged items workflow, whatever that may be. So we can highlight that and then we can add a note, withdraw it, or delete it from the system. But this allows you to be able to set things aside quickly and then come back to them as needed. One thing I should point out about the damaged items is that the damaged item list is going to be branch specific. So each branch will have its own, whereas pull lists may not necessarily, or fill lists may not necessarily be branch specific. Switching to item services, again, we can do item maintenance on the go as well. And this can be done either by scanning a specific item ID or by entering a bibliographic identifier. We also have the ability to use the Carl Connect Discovery to do the staff level bib search. And this is also going to be in the regular staff mode. I'm going to back out of that and simply scan an item to look up. And from here, we can do whatever maintenance we want, including, if needed, adding a new item. We can sort items again by branch and look at detailed item information and make any changes that are needed. So we'll look at a second one. This one is on shelf, but I'm not there, so I can't change it because I'm only authorized to use the Ayers branch, so I can change the locations on those. And that, in a nutshell, is how you can use Carl Connect staff on the go to get away from the desk, cut the cord, and go about serving your patrons where your patrons are and inside your library away from the desk. With that, I'm going to hand things back to Jameson so that in order to field any questions.
Joe, thanks a lot. That was very good demo. I do love the damaged items management myself personally. That's one of my more favorite features that I see with this. Now, while we are giving everybody a chance to ask any questions that you may have, please, if you wouldn't mind, we're going to put a couple of polls up on the screen. If you wouldn't mind, please take a quick poll and we'll see what your feedback is. But again, please take the polls, but this also gives everybody an opportunity. If you have any questions, now would be a great chance for you to ask Joe whatever those questions may be. I always feel awkward on these webinars leaving too much of a pause there with no audio. So I don't want anybody to think that you may have lost the connection or I did. But if you wouldn't mind, please take these poll questions as they come up on the screen. All right. Where do you like to take your library services? School events and other outreach opportunities, quite in the lead. All right, we have poll question 2. Which of your departments would benefit most from a desk-free solution?
Can I vote for all of the above on that?
You don't get a vote, sir.
Man.
All right, youth services and circulation in the lead. All right, and the last question. And I will say, please also use this as an opportunity to get some more questions in if you have any. Once this poll is completed, we will go ahead and start answering those questions. And if Joe does not have the answer to your question as we go through, we should be able to get your information and we will directly follow up with you. Okay, we're just waiting for this to go ahead and wrap up. Once we start a poll, I should say the GoToWebinar, I do believe, has a certain set time that it needs to process through in order for us to go ahead and move on. So that's why I was kind of hanging there for a second or two. But Joe, I'm going to go ahead and ask you a couple questions now. Can you show us how we could create another item record? You mentioned that ability. I'd like to see it. I will say Joe is getting the
Oh,
environment set
sorry,
up
I
right now.
I had myself on mute. Sorry about that. So I went ahead and cheated my way in by scanning the barcode of an existing item, but you can just as easily do it using a bibliographic ID or using the bib search feature, whichever works best for you. In this case, because I had a handy barcode, I just scanned the barcode, and I'm going to head ahead and adding another one. So next to items, you see add an item, and it's going to pre-populate it with existing information. And the important things that it's going to need you to scan first are going to be a barcode. So I'm going to give it a bad barcode, but what I'll do is I will change that to let's see. 200, because I know 200 is not in use. I can add in an item call number of doc 123, whatever. Just making something up. I am not a cataloger. I apologize. So it's probably atrocious. I can set the status to whatever, so do adult entertainment. Set the status to on shelf or on shelf in process. If I have the item in hand and I'm ready to let it go, I can just put it right on the shelf. Set the owning location. And just, this is an adult hardback. If I happen to know the price, I can add the price, $19.99. Any notes, any predefined options, any free text notes, any of that. I save the item and we are done. So now when I go to the bottom, we have, oh no, it's at the very top. The one I just added at the Ayers Library is with the call number of 200. It shows that it's right there. And it's got a status of not suppressed.
Excellent, Joe. And I do have one more question for you. If you highlight several items on the damaged list, can you write one note that will apply to them all?
To be honest, I don't know. And this is one of my favorite things about this job, is because my next step is, let's try it and see what happens. So I'm switching over to the damaged items list. And I'm seeing, yep. Sample note. And we'll take a look at a random one. Yep, it works. That's all there is to it. So the answer is yes, it does. And I learned something today. Thank you.
That's fantastic. One more question. Can you change the names of the lists in Manage?
That I will need to find out about. So I'm assuming the question is, can we change fill list to pull list or something similar, or wander list to missing? I'm guessing is the question. I'm going to need to find out the answer to that. I don't know that one off the top of my head.
Okay. We will follow up with you and get you an answer on that. I do believe the answer is no. I do believe the way that they are coded and are in the system is the way that they do remain. So I just did want to point that out. Actually, as I go through this, yes, the answer is no. You cannot change that. Although I will say, for the people that did design this, I do love the name Wander List myself. I just think that's just a great thing to put in the software. But no, as of now, you cannot change those names. And as far as I can see, that is the last question that we've received on this webinar. And we are coming in a little bit short of 3:30 Eastern, which is sometimes our goal here. So I would like to thank you all for taking part in today's webinar. We are going to have more webinars coming up. We just have not yet posted them yet. They are going to be coming shortly. As you can see on the screen, it is tlcdelivers.com/webinars. You can go there to register for future webinars, as well as see the archive and recorded sessions from all of our previous sessions since this series went live. Again, Joe, I'd like to thank you very much for taking part in today's and leading today's webinar. You did a great job. Thank you very much. Everyone, please stay safe. Please stay healthy. Please continue to wear your masks and social distance and wash your hands. And there are tons of resources online for you to find the closest vaccination site to where you are. Thanks, everyone. Everybody have a great Wednesday.